frames, 2 hours, 4 hours, sometimes daily, but daily is a bad option for now because prices are very volatile. Currencies goes up and down all the time. And well, even so, I'm just looking at my chart. I'm just gonna, share the screen because it doesn't make sense to. Yeah, do you see my screen for now?
Yeah, I see your screen. So if anybody that doesn't see his screen, if there's more than 50 coming here, just check the YouTube.
So I should check YouTube, right? To whom you told this?
Oh wait, your screen's a little bit blurry.
Blurry. I put 1080 or something.
Let me double check this real quick.
Yeah, sure. So should I off this and on again?
No, just wait. There it goes.
Sure.
1080.
I have 1080 and 60 something frames. I don't remember. Whatever.
I'm gonna add this to YouTube as well.
Yeah, sure. So what do you guys think about, yesterday drop? Any thoughts, any feelings about this? Who was, affected by it and sold it on the bottom? Because there are some people who just, sold it here. And it did look like a nice manipulation. Yeah, but anyway, we can wait for team and go live with this. Hey, I have around 1 hour. Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, cool. So anyway, we can have it like every week or just a one time in a week. I'm pretty open to that if you're okay. I wouldn't say classes, but some insights or just technical analysis because I love doing technical analysis on different coins, and it really helps you just to make right decisions from time to time and not being affected by random dumps or pumps. Yeah, if it's a pump in your long position, definitely it's good. But when the market was short, yeah, this is not good. But it's okay. It's okay. The very first thing which you should you need just to learn how to long and short coins. It's okay to be in a long position. It's very excited. It evolves you completely. But the market isn't about going up all the time. And sometimes, any retracements, any pullbacks, any corrections, they're taking places. And they happen. And you can do nothing with it. And the question which I'd like to ask you, whether you would like to sit this out and basically watching your balance, melting down very just rapidly, it could affect you in a way. Or would you like just to learn how just to spot or just identify trends, or just let's just say short-term trends or long-term trends, and enter or quit the coin, and be advanced with it. So that's where technical analysis should be applied. And this is pretty simple because many people think that, wow, this is very hard to do, but this is not.
Do you already have the bot up and running, or are you going to set that up as you go for Doge?
Yeah, I think I'm going to run some bots. Let's just send a demo because I don't trade spot bots for now. I just use, as you can see, like a test. I have a combo bot. You probably didn't see that, but it only works with Binance futures. As I know, majority of your users, they are from the US, or viewers, I would say. And because of US policy and VPN stuff, they wouldn't be using that. But in the same time, I'm going to show some setups in, with the Doge and the spot trading. So that's why I just need to get to the demo. And we're going to try just to buy Doge. Right? And I will explain what setups are good, how you should, spot the trends. But this is a very bad time for trading Doge. I'm sorry, guys. Higher lows, 1, 2, 3, 4. It does look like a higher low and the higher high, but it's definitely in the same place, in the same range which we have here, between 35 and 42 cents. It's a very crucial area to bounce off, especially to the bottom, because I'm sorry, I just need to switch back to a major part. So we need just to build a bounce area. So do you see my screen, right? Aim is not with me. Probably. I don't know. I would say the easiest way would be to show how I do this. And because my indicators, they're completely free, you don't need to buy anything from anybody. You can set this up for literally for 1 minute, and you don't need to spend more time on it. All you need just to learn to interpret the chart and to read that. It's like maybe it would be hard from the very beginning, but I don't want to give you a certain calls about, hey, we're gonna go long with Doge or just we're gonna go short with Doge. No, the best option would be to teach you to read the chart, have a complete understanding what resistance and support levels are, and how to read them and trade them. That would be way efficient, especially with your personal trading, and you would be pretty, wise, and probably you will want to share your ideas with your friends or just, another traders, and it will definitely help you and your just teammate or even team just to develop his channel and bring more audience, because the quality of stream gets better and when you have the technical analysis, because having decision-making strategy is a winning point. So Tame, are you with me on this still? Because I feel like I'm keep speaking with myself and nobody's listening to me. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 people which wrote something to me, but I will read all your messages, later, guys. I don't have any information from Tame yet. If you see my screen, okay, just let's start without Tame. It's fine. He just started everything up, and we're gonna look at Doge. So probably I'm just gonna remove everything just to show how I just read the charts and how I know where, not know, but anticipate where price would go. The whole chart, this is 4-hour chart. The whole chart, doesn't say much about itself. If we just get back in time, Doge, it didn't look fine. There was some sort of 1-5 cent range. It didn't, do another, massive, I would say, momentums, right? The very first thing which I would advise just to read or look at would be just to read about elliott wave thing. When you put an elliott wave, and it does look like this. If you see the picture, I just do my best just to find bigger picture, and it does look like this. This is a pretty typical formation which you can find in the markets, where trends goes like the long wave correction, and the fifth wave goes above third wave, right? And then you have ABC correction. So if you just take Doge in the very same manner, right, and try just to no, wrong thing. Elliott impulse wave. You can draw it like this. This is the first one, the second one, third, fourth, and the fifth wave, right? Like it shows here. After doing 5 waves of a long position, of a long trade, you can usually have A, B, and C. C correction goes below the end of the fourth wave, right? Which should go here to 15 cents, but it never did. It happens sometimes. So taking this like a correction, we can go like, we know that this was A, then it went to B, and there was a C correction. And if we think it's a pretty simple indicator which you can track and read about. Yeah, and just need to read. Give me a second. I'm gonna write to team. Are you with me? Okay, let's continue. If this was a C wave and we dropped to 20 cents or 25, so my call was at 25 cents and then to 15 cents, but the last the lower call never worked out, so it's okay. In the same time, if we just remove that and calculate what were the loss from the top, it was pretty huge. It's another 70%. And the whole manipulation was so cruel. And exchange, if you remember this time, it was like yesterday. Exchanges were down, balances were frozen. You literally couldn't do anything. You couldn't transfer, you couldn't sell, you couldn't buy. All exchanges were down. So people were affected by it. And those people who just put so much money into Doge, like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, they were manipulated with this. Exchanges shut down. They were forced to sell their position. You probably didn't realize that, but or they probably didn't realize that, but they really, exchanges made them sell it because, fall was pretty quick. If you just, watch it real live, Bitcoin was going, down, pretty quick. The 34,000, 1 minute, 33,000, 32,000. It affects people's mind, especially on the emotional side. And this situation with exchanges, it spices the whole story, and it makes them force their trade to somewhere, either sell or hold. And because I would say 90% of people, they're so emotional, and they don't have enough skill to read some charts and trades and indicators. They probably entered the trade because somebody told so, or because Elon Musk said so, because the Doge is going to be the next currency of the year of century, whatever. They ended up having a decision on them, and I would say 90% of them they sold their Doge for 20 cents. And imagine what they're feeling about this. They feel desperate. They feel angry. And they're definitely pissed off with this because Doge bounced back from 40 cents. And to prevent happening that's why you need some sort of indication to start to understand where to buy and where to sell. Give me a sec. Yes, watching another machine. Tim, can you?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, you can hear me. Yeah, I just double checked my sound, and I was like, whether we'll just live or where am I? I was like, okay,
we're live. People are upset in the YouTube about Doge dipping with the price action, but yeah, we're setting up the trading bot, guys. It's worthwhile to have a trading bot, especially during the downtrends.
Yeah. So just to summarize, these spot bots which you try to run works on long momentums. Or they can work on the short momentums, but you need just to have a super massive big green grid to buy lower, right? Like, let's just say, let me show it on the Bitsgap. If you're gonna go like this, if your grid was like that, and price of Doge goes down because there's so many people, ran this bot, and basically they bought this dip nicely, right? and they sold it to the top, even here, and they were like many percent up. I would say they basically entered probably here, and they went back to the entry price, and they have already had 20% in profit because of this tip. But I'm gonna show you how I just pick some coins, what indicators I use just to pick it, and what settings should I. Well, basically, I usually use to enter any trade, and what time frames. First of all, you probably saw that Tame has already made a video about William Alligator, and his William Alligator looks like this. His settings is are 1380.85, and I don't remember. Do you have any offsets? Or you don't have, but let's just say you didn't have any offsets, so it's 0. Even with this settings, Doge still showing some nice support levels on 4 hour. You see here, Doge kind of pumped, and it's been nicely supported with this green and red lines. So it just made another not pull back, just another long movement, and it was fine. It was here. It even retested this blue line, but then it dipped. And now, when the whole story flipped to the downside, this line serves as a resistance. Serves as resistant levels, and it dumps this prices lower and lower. But as I said, there are many fake outs like this one. It does look bullish, but at the same time it broke down, and now it's again served as a resistance level. That's why some times ago I just decided to play with the biggest time frames in the biggest data which I can put into indicators. So that's why I decided just to put 1,000 to Joe, 500 into teeth, and 250 into lips, just to make a clear understanding of how this indicator works. And if you look at that, the last time it touches any of this line before yesterday, sorry, but I need just to get really back in time, was here. It was 0.003. And since that time, which is December 2020, we were so bullish, so we never ever touch any line. Never. Only yesterday. And what happened? It's nicely bounced back, and if you just manage to sustain the whole doom of this cry too, you would have already made another 100%, because these levels, they're very crucial. It's not that easy to break this down. Let me readjust it a little bit just to make it more thick. All right, that would be great. So this one is a very crucial point. You can play around with the 15 minutes, even with a 1 minute. It's kind of very accurate indicator. Sometimes it serves as a nice support just to fix some profits, like the just 21%. Sometimes,
could you explain the colors real quick for people who don't understand?
Yeah, sure. So these lines, you can okay. So when price action, current price of Doge is lower than all of these indicators, you start considering these indicators as a resistance levels, right? I'm just showing you in 1 minute. I never use 1 minute, but just like an example. And for now, all of these lines should be considered as resistant levels, correct? So we saw that price kind of get to the green line, bounce back, get to the red one, bounce back to the downside. It finally dropped. Okay. And this was like a sideways section, and just to understand whether we would have some sort of momentum to go down, we need just to see where the support lines are and resistance levels are. And we just try to see where these candles go to in the nearest time. You see, it went here. There were so many touches. Some were here and here. And just not to draw many lines, you can do it this way. You can put it like a rectangle, and this was your support area for Doge. And you see that this lines, for example, we didn't know where the price would go. We have such situation, and we need to analyze what's going to happen next. We know that this support lines, hold still, and it didn't let price, go way down than 0.4675 cents. So for now, we're going sideways, but on from the other side, these lines, they don't let Dogecoin price go way higher than this. And it eventually starts breaking this down. And when you have this a massive break, you should really start shorting Doge. And you are going all the way down. The same story goes here. I'm just showing my, I would say not mine, but the typical 1 minute chart. Sometimes this line serves as a nice bounce lines when drop is very crucial, right? And it's very strong. Bearish momentum is very strong. So this price never ever going to blue and red lines. It just touched the green one and dropped even more lower than that. Sometimes you can have this price action when price getting back and do some price action, but the story is pretty same. But I don't like trade 1 minute because it doesn't give me just a clear idea on where it's going. Sometimes I would say this is a nice turning point because it does look like it's going down, but it bounced back into the range and then pumps. So I call this formation as a fake out, bearish fake out. I will do my best to find any bullish, just a pretty quick if there is some. So the pretty same story was here. There's the same bearish fake out in the 1 minute. It kind of touched the green line, but then it bounced back, and you can make another 2% if you just trade with leverage. In the same story here, but there are so many fake outs, and I don't like using 1 minute. Better just to say at least 15 minutes if you're intraday trader, right? So what did we see here? We see that green and red lines served as a nice resistant areas, resistant levels and resistant lines, as well as area, because we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches here. And on the bottom side, we have this area, and we have, I would say, this area to break down to go way lower than 44 cents. And just to basically, let's just say, make our decision-making system more stronger, I usually add MACD indicator just to double check and make sure that I'm gonna go into the right direction. This is the normal MACD, which is moving average, convergence, divergence. And the custom settings are 12, 26, 9, but I would advise just, as I said, I would advise to input as much data as possible. So we're going to put 500 candle as a fast length, 1,000 as a slow length, and we're going to put a 50 as a signal smoothing because we can't put more. This is the maximum we can put on MACD. And what is the best thing to trade on this MACD? So to explain how this indicator works, there are 2 lines, as you can see, orange one and light blue one. Orange one is the main line, light blue is the signal line. So if you read the technical documentation of the indicator, it says if light blue line crosses the main one, which is orange, from down to up, like this, like here, it means that the momentum is bullish and asset is very bullish, and it can really go up higher and higher. When this crosses to the downside, like here or like here, it says that there might be a bearish momentum applied to the chart. So the whole chart, the whole asset becomes bearish. But I never trade this crosses. What I trade with MACD is I would call it convergences. What convergence is? It's the situation when signal line gets, well, the delta, which is basically the spacing between. I'm going to show on the way different example. Yeah, here. When the delta, which is the spacing between signal line and main one, as you can see, it gets lower. Basically, the spacing is narrowing, but this line never meet each other in the precise moment of time. But they start to divergence from each other. They start going to different direction. It means that the trend which you had here gets stronger. As you can see, Doge was bullish, and it kind of have some sort of signal which was coming in saying we might flip to bearish, but signal line never ever touch this line, which says that the trend is way stronger than we think. So we can really consider the longs, and as a result of this, we can make another 50-70% to the top, right?
Just a question: what does the Williams alligator say right now on the 15 or 30 minutes?
Let's have a look. Sure. This is just another short position. I would say short. So especially, okay, so just let's even track this in the real time. The whole formation, first of all, we need just to build a support line. As we see, this was very bearish, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 touches, and we have a touch for now. Let's just say we almost had a touch here. We can readjust this line a little bit, but in the same time, this does look like a formation. I wouldn't say bearish flag, but it does look like this if we put a line like here. If we start seeing that this light red bar starts turning normal like red bars, and price will basically cross this support line to the downside, you could be sure that we will go at least to this area, which is 30 cents. I'm sure about this. I've seen these formations many times. Let me find any of this. I wouldn't be looking for any formations. The same story is here with Bitcoin. When I did some videos on my channel with Bitcoin price, I was calling 34,000, but yeah, it just made 30,000. It's not a big deal. There was a big buy pressure. I'm gonna find any. Yeah, I do my best just to find any pretty quick, but it's the same story like this one. It just had a bottom, tries just to make higher highs and do some sort of higher lows, but instead of going up, it goes down. And the same story does look like this. Let's look for some examples. More examples. Yeah, the same story is here. The same story is right here. You see the pattern. You see how it plays out usually. And well, basically, this is just another way to interpret the chart. It doesn't give you any sort of signals just where to buy, long or short. It might really bumps back, and everything could be bullish. But first of all, I just want Doge going up above 46 cents at least to say, not even 46, but I see the big resistance area is situated here. You see that there was a huge price action here, and here 8 or 7 times. I don't remember. I wouldn't start any bots for long for now because it doesn't look good to me on 15 minutes. But on 2 hours, the pretty same story. 4 hour. 4 hour was bullish, by the way, and if Doge would be able just to broke 45, 46 cent on 4 hour, and it start turning these bars into a normal green one, and Doge will pick this up, it might really go to 75, 80 cents. It might really do this. I don't know how much, to what price, but it has all sort of, possibility to go here. I'm gonna remove this pretty quick. So what we see with the Doge, if we just, do this Fibonacci retracement level, what we do for now, we're just bouncing from 0.38 level. And it really leads us to 33 cents or even lower. If price will go up like this, will go down, I mean. But I don't see any sort of bearish momentum yet. Yeah, you see Doge going up. We have a pretty nice, huge resistance area, but we need just to break this up to say that we're kind of, bullish and we might enter the trade. So that's the idea. Okay, the very simple way just to identify any trade is at least having these lines, these indicators, alligator and MACD. Then you'd need to have some sort of resistance area where there are tons of resistance level which you need to cross to go up way higher. I would say there is one at the top, which is this one, and there was one at the bottom, which is right here. And I wouldn't be bullish on Doge until it crosses and it closes above it, above 45 cents, because there's still a huge possibility of this going down, because market is still bearish and never ever go anywhere. Just, I mean, in this local top formation, in local bottom formation, still bearish. We just had a pullback. That's it. I just wanted to show another example of, I don't remember what exactly. I did like ADA, but I don't see any ADA here. And ADA was also nice, but I just made a video on that saying that if it kind of closes above this, we're pretty bullish in ADA. But as you can see, we didn't close above it. We basically stuck in this range, and we were going down with this, which means that you can enter long trade for now, because it actually showed some sort of long momentum. It bounces pretty nicely from the red one, as you can see. It almost touched red lines with alligator, just a 1.5%. And bounce back, I don't know how many percent, almost 100%. But I do think that this one is bearish for now. I'm sorry just to tell you that, guys, but Doge does look bearish too. What I think price will be maybe going sideways, or just sideways. I mean, within this range, within this area, 100% area. It might go up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't have, much T information about Doge, but just to be bullish, we need to break and close above this area, just to be bullish on Doge. Yes, we had a nice, bounce and pullback. And if you bought Doge here, you're a good sport. You're doing great. And because I didn't. And yeah, that's the whole story. We can really start looking into different time frames and charts and how do they play out. But you need to remember one thing: higher time frame always gives you better signal than the lower time frame. If you just look at, let's just say, 1 minute, and you think that Doge looks fine and bullish in 1 minute because it had a nice support here, this lines, and you get another 15-minute chart, and it does shows you some sort of bearish momentum. You should really rely on this one, and the higher time frame you use, the stronger the signal is. Okay, so that's the idea. Okay, so as for the bots, wow, this is a pretty hard time to show any of good spot bots. Okay, let's imagine we truly believe that, I don't know, Doge will bounce back to 60 cents. But we also want to buy these dips and be full of Doge here when the next pullback not pullback, but the full reversal occurs, right? So we're gonna put $2,000, even more than that, say $3,000, and the very crucial story about bots, I'm gonna explain it this way: you don't want to have too many grids, because I'm gonna explain it again because I've already explained. I do remember this in the last stream. If price of Doge goes nuts and goes like to 60 cents in a single day, you will end up having only roughly, let's just say, the whole 52% momentum would be close to 5-6% profit only, because you'll be selling your Doge that quick and fast. So you won't be having any possibility just to hold or just accumulate more Doge with some sort of sideways momentum like this, which goes up slowly and steadily. So we know many, let's summarize many factors. First, we know that Doge is going down or up pretty quick, and its movements are pretty big with a percentage, right? So we want to make sure that the grids density would be so low. That's why I would advise just to put even 40 grids, at least 2.5% grid step. So just
and for those who don't know, what does setting the grid lower do?
I'm sorry, what's that?
What does setting the grid lower do? How does that help people during the downtrend?
Lower price, you mean? Right? Did I get this right?
Yep. You have to trade like closer to the certain price. Like if you have higher grid span, it's a bigger price difference, and maybe for a longer time period.
Yeah. So lower price here, basically, again, every time you enter the trade, for example, I decided to enter Doge for now. I'm just gonna put 3,000 to this. If you look down here, I'm gonna buy immediately 2,000, almost 3,000 Doge, and I would be leaving $1,800. And what's gonna happen with this $1,800? I'm gonna put it there. Why do I do that? As you can see, by the way, Doge is going down. Why do I do that? I want to make sure that if Doge goes down and makes some sort of double bottom like this, I would say I would be having as many Doge as possible just to sell it higher, and basically fixing way more profit. But I never ever did any I never ever not entered, but started any bots with a falling coin, because I want a coin goes up, not down. But this is like a shining example. We're gonna do our best just to buy some Doge on the way low. If you think or anticipate that Doge will gonna go lower than that, I would advise you probably to wait a little bit, because Doge is might be pretty tricky from sometimes. But if you decided to start it for now, right here, lower price is the last price where a bot will buy a part of Doge, and the higher price is the last price where a bot will sell the last part of Doge, which you hold on the balance and which wouldn't be sold until you're going up. So our lower price is 20 cents, upper price is 60 cents. Grid step is 2.5, which is not a difference, but spacing between levels, like this. Let's just say it's the space between levels. And every time Doge going up or down 2.5%, it executes trades. It either buys or sells something. So just to let's see what's gonna happen. We just set this up. We want to make sure we have our not take profit but stop loss if Doge will go down than 20 cents, because we don't want to be caught in the middle of that and having only Doge, but we would be seeing Doge going lower to 10 cents, for example. That would kill us completely, right? So we're gonna give it a go, start it, and it basically tells us to start this bot and necessary to buy 9.1 Doge. We're gonna buying this. And
wait, I have a question. If you already have Doge, you don't have to buy it at market price, right?
Yeah. If you have Doge, okay, I'm gonna explain it this way. If you have Doge, but I need just to bring another chart, just to show how does it look like.
Maybe Doge Bitcoin, since Bitcoin is uptrend.
Yeah. Doge Bitcoin is a nice pick. Doge BTC. Okay. Imagine that you have some Doge on the balance. So bot recognizes your logic like this. If you need just to remove your lower price at all, you don't need any green grids because you have already had this Doge before. And you want to sell it out, right? And in order to sell this out, you need just to leave only red grid, and your lower price should be higher than the current one. And that's where bots start selling your position if price goes into this range. Okay? Is that clear to you?
And can you tell them, like on the YouTube, they can do more than one trading pair at a time if they buy the premium, right?
Yeah, basically they can do, I don't remember. Well, basically Pro Package gives you 15 bots at the same time. You can start with Advanced. It's a pretty normal thing. Just to see whether you will reach trading limit or not, and just to play around. Anyway, if you just sign up and try Bitsgap using Tame's link, you'll get 14 days for free. You don't need to attach any debit, credit card, or whatever. You can give it a go and do your best just to make some profits and basically enjoy this tool. This is the setup which you'd like just to do if you have some Doge and you want to sell this Doge when the market will go up. This is no, I'm gonna do it this way. This is what you would like to do if you anticipate the dip. Okay, you know that the dip is coming and you don't want to wait until you don't want to buy 100% in bulk, right? You tell the bot if price goes down, and when you start it tells it, please start buying within these levels. Just partially, not 100% of Doge which you put in it. Let's try this way. Let me try just to run this. I want to buy a Doge with 0.05 BTC within this range. I don't know. I need just to readjust it to closer to current price, just to show what's going to happen. Let's do 1% grid step because I just need to show it like as example. It's going down. I just need it pretty quick. I'm sorry. So I put 0.05 BTC, and what I do, I just tell the bot if price goes down and hits any of these levels, buy me Doge. So I just started, and it doesn't require me to buy anything. It just put this half, not a half, just 0.05 BTC across these levels, and it will be executing buy every time I hit them. And because of the very huge grid spacing which we had here, I finally hit the first buy, as you can see with the 38. It's represented with the green dot, which you can see on the chart. And it shows that the bot profit minus 0.07 because this is the fee which was taken by the exchange. All right. Despite the fact that this is the demo, fees are included just to calculate. Now, look at that. So you see Doge. What is Doge doing? You just asked me what was going to do, and even on the 15-minute charts, we start seeing that all of this bar starts turning red. So I would really start considering short for now. And it will keep buying this all the way down and sell whenever the price will be having some sort of correction or pullbacks on way to the top. But that's why I told there's no way you would be in profit with the price of this going down. Okay, so I think it's pretty clear. The only thing which you would be doing is buying dips with this setup and with this setup, whatever.
And for those people who don't understand, the right side USDT is what you're using to buy what's on the left side.
Yeah, Doge. Yeah, there's two types of currencies in each pair. First one goes as a base currency. The second one goes as a quote currency. And to understand what exactly you're buying the first part of the currency in the currency pair. And you buy it for the second part of the currency which you have in the pair. So in the Doge BTC, you spend BTC to buy Doge. And when you sell Doge, you get BTC back. You don't get Doge back. You acquire more BTC. And the same situation happens here. You spend Tether to buy Doge on its downside, and you sell it basically higher and gets a profit in Tether, which goes directly to your balance.
Just one question. How do people minimize the transaction fees? Do you have a little bit of Binance BNB in your account, and are you using more fees when you trade like Bitcoin compared to USDT?
Well, if we speak about Doge Tether trading, better just to have some BNB, because as far as I remember, BNB, whatever amount BNB you have in the balance, if you use Binance, it reduces the fees, right? And I wouldn't say fees is something like a very sufficient point, but it might hurt your balance if you trade $100,000. Okay, and I would advise having just a small portion of BNB just to cover fees if you want to. But futures trading might help you as well, because their fees are way more deliberate, and still have some BNB just for it. As you can see, there were two trades executed, and this one was like a green one. It turned red. It means that it used to be a buy sell. Now it became not a buy sell. It was a buy level. Now it became a sell level, just to sell into if price gets back to the top. But I don't know whether we see some of this. Imagine if Doge will go down pretty quick. I don't like how Doge looks like.
Is there a way you can see your history of the transactions the bots made? Yeah,
you can get into, there's some sort of histogram or bars here. You click it, it's called view. And there are close orders tab. When you click on that, you see that you just executed only your bot has executed only two trades, two buys for 38 cents and for 37.22 cents in fees, which has been already deducted.
And we talked about it last time, right? There's two different buys. You can set it to like buy a certain amount, like just 40, or use the whole amount. Could you talk about that real quick?
Yeah. Can you rephrase your question again?
So I think it was there's two ways to modify the trading bot. You can set it up to do staggered orders, or you can use it to set up your whole dollar amount for trades.
Yeah, I mean, I have already shown that. If you spoke about, right? You mean ASBot and Classic bot? Okay, so I get.
And which one do you prefer, Classic or S?
If market goes sideways and didn't do much, let's just say, I would say if you see the chart which stuck in sideways formation, let me show you the cool example is 8 Ethereum. And if we just get back in time to November 2020, I just need to remove that because it will be, making all up way worse. But I would say a perfect sideways range is this range. This one. Well, roughly even that way. We basically see that, it wasn't very volatile. There's only 50% from the bottom to the top. And price goes up, down, up, down, up, down. It didn't go up and neither go down. It was here all the time. So if you see some not settings, but setups like this, I would advise running AskBot, because AskBot will be fixing your profits, which comes from bot profit. And I would advise you to run very, density grids. And what was going to do? Imagine you would start your AskBot here, or like let's just save it here. It will be buying the dip and selling the tops. And again, buying the dip with the whole amount you put, and then selling the top. Buying the dip and selling the top. So every time, all of these grids will be dancing around, turning green, red, green, red. And in the end of this, you can make tons of money on it. Because, by looking at the chart, there is no space or place to go lower, and it doesn't have enough power or just bullish momentum just to break the whole formation and go over it, right? So that's the perfect momentum for it. It longed for since September to February. Even let's just say August, like September. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. This is a pretty decent, time period. Speaking about Classic Bot, it works perfectly for huge, volatile, super massive upside momentums like this. Because what is it doing? It's buying and selling equal amount of base currency, which was like ADA. So you would just imagine that the grid was, let me do it this way. At least grid was like this, and you decided to start your ADA Ethereum somewhere here. You would buy let's just say you put $1,000 or $10,000. You will buy ADA massively, and AskBot will distribute the sell levels unevenly. Okay, we can actually look at any bots and oh my god, which is, by the way, changed the whole thing. So buy, open orders, amount. You see that there are different amounts all the time as a buy and as a sell. AskBot doesn't buy the equal amount of Doge, but Classic Bot does do it, and you can end up having this bot as some sort of compounding effect, because if we just have a look at ADA price will be going up continuously against Ethereum. And in order to start making more profits at some point of time, when you bought ADA for 31,000 Satoshis, now the price for ADA is 47,000 Satoshis. But imagine your logic bot was to buy 10 ADA every time. So as a result of that, you'll be spending more money on buying ADA. And because we kind of anticipate that the momentum will go up, it starts compounding the whole Ethereum, which you earn and which was available into and it has some snowballing effect. So I would advise running Classic Bot on some uprising momentum. If we're talking about Doge USDT, and let's just say Doge will be having a very nice, positive, momentum just of, going up. If you think or know that ADA will go to 55 cents, you should actually start running Classic Bot with it, not AskBot as I did, like as example. Classic Bot will be buying and selling equal amount of Doge every time, despite of the price, which it has. Maybe you have some other question, but by the way, that's a very good just example. We just made another sell in like a red dot. If we just get into view and look at the close orders, we see that we sold one portion of ADA for amount Doge, 191 Dogecoins. We bought it for 0.3722 and then we sold it for 0.3830. Exchange, charged also charged us with fees, and we deducted that. Our profit was 2.08 tether, and the total for now, deducting this fees and that fee, our total profit is 1.86. Basically, we already made some profit. If Doge will keep going up, we'll be selling another. Let me find where the first sell is. Another portion of 187 Doge, but this amount will be going. For the first time, it looks like it's selling. The same amount of DOGECOIN. We'll be selling 185 Doge all the way to the top, and that's a good thing. You can fix much more about profit, and you can get way better change, which is a very crucial point as well, because change is a true indicator which shows how much money you really made on this. It combines the whole change of Doge price plus the bot profit which bot made for the time being.
I do have a question. One person asked me, does the trading bot already calculate in the Binance fees into your profit?
Yeah, I just showed that seconds ago. Here are your fees, which is charged by Binance, and as you can see, it shows in the total that there was a fee. It added there with a minus, and it added another one in a minus, and it added another one in a minus, but it deducted the sum of this, and this from the bot profit. That's how you get 1.86.
Right. People are afraid to go from Robinhood to Binance, but the fee is very low. Like, it just costs you 7 cents to trade over 100 Doge. Like, it's nothing. The fee is very small compared to your profits.
Yeah, and I wouldn't advise doing any Coinbase Pro or other exchange because their fees are so big. I don't remember what percentage they have, but let's just say 0.5 or 0.6, where Binance have 0.1 or something. I don't remember exactly. And if you hold any BNB, it cuts it another 25%. I mean, take or make a fee, which is pretty good. But if you do this on the Coinbase, multiply this fees, which you see, basically 5 times. Another 5 times. It's 35 cents from here, 35 cents, 35 cents. It doesn't make any sense to run these bots on Coinbase Pro until they change the whole structure of these fees, takers and maker fees.
So we're seeing a little bit of price action right now. Doge dropped from 38 cents and all the way at 39. Did your bot buy at the 38 cents dip?
Yeah, it did buy 2 times. Here and here. And we can see that it bought another almost 4,100 Doge additionally to what I bought initially. And now I have 3,400 Doge, and I have 1,700 Tether left to buy dips if price of Doge goes way lower than 30 cents, 25 cents, 22 cents, and even lower and lower.
So is the bot bullish right now? I think you're still holding some Doge, right?
Yeah, it will be holding Doge, but because it's in the middle of the grid, it has tons of level to sell. It has tons of level to buy if price goes down. But imagine that we will see Doge price going to 60 cents in 2 minutes. What's going to happen? It's going to sell the whole position pretty quick. This balance of 3,300 Doge will be completely diminished, and you'll be having the tether and balance, which is good, but at the same time bad, because if you do this manually and if it shoots like crazy, every time, I would say, long story short, manual trading works way better than any bot. You won't create any bot which overperform manual trading, but at the same time, manual trading is way risky because you can't execute that many trades in a short period of time, and you should always protect yourself from the losses rather than hunting for profits, which could happen or maybe not, maybe won't happen in the future. So you get my idea. It will be executing your trade, and if imagine that just lost the brush. Price goes like this, slowly and steadily goes to 25 cents. This 40% drop wouldn't be a 40% drop. Your change would be at least 20% or 50%. So when it goes down and you're buying the dip, your bot smoothes the losses, right? It works vice versa. It tries just to earn on the dip and the retracement, earn the dip and the retracement, dip retracement, and it tries to fix as much profit as possible to basically get into a break-even point and starts fixing more profit when Doge goes up. From the entry point I had, like 38 cents or something. I don't remember what the entry point was. And this is the big advantage of the bot, because if you do 100% manual trading, 10% is a 10% loss, or 40% is a 40% loss, and you can do nothing with this. But when you use trading bots and you kind of trying just to buy these dips back, and this bot doesn't, stand on the same place, it buys and sells all the time. So it tries to fix some sort of profit. And if it goes down, it buys back and sells. It still keeps selling a little portion of Doge to fix more bot profit here, right? You see, it did another sell, another dot appeared in the chart. It's already $4. We can actually, get a sneak peek on that. It sold another portion of Doge, and it made a bigger profit, 2.39, with a fee which has already been deducted from the whole investment. And why would I recommend running any bots on the upside momentum? You need to understand two things. You would like just to take advantage not only from selling something, but also from the growth of Doge. And that's why grid tap is a very essential point. The greater your spacing is, the more change, which is here, you would be having in the end of this. Because you could say, briefly look at this. My bot profit is $4, so I just made $4. No, you didn't. You make 1% of this, which is a $30, because your Doge went up and because you made some profits with the bot. So that's the idea.
I do have another interesting question.
Yeah.
Can you take profits in Doge rather than USDT? Like, can it just give you more Doge back?
No, it's impossible because Binance doesn't have any X/Doge pairs where Doge stands as a quick currency. The only way just to have more Doge is just to anticipate the dip and buy the dip, or just make it complete only green greed just to buy the dips. But there are no ways just to accumulate Doge because Binance doesn't allow it to do so. It doesn't have any pairs which allows you to have Doge as accumulation currency.
Okay, thank you for that. Can you do a little bit of technical analysis just on the 15 minutes with the Williams alligator for the people that are just tuning in?
Yes, sure. Well, I don't really like doing any analysis on 15-minute charts, but I would still stand on my point that I would really start entering Doge if it's only breaking this area, which is, I wouldn't say light red, but yeah, light red one. If Doge will go in and manage to break and close above it, I would say I would be pretty bullish in Doge and at least consider any buying. But until it's here, and if I see some sort of bearish sentiment from the MACD histogram bars, which I have here, like a red, there were so many light red histogram bars, which kind of indicating that there is a huge reversal momentum, which we really had, and another 29% momentum. But for now, I didn't say we're kind of bullish on it yet. I just want to see Dogecoin breaking this first and fix it way above it, just to say that we are bullish on it.
Not financial advice, just manually.
Yeah.
If you were manually trading, you wanted to stop the bot, would you buy in at that lower area?
You mean at 25 cents?
Yeah, would you manually buy in at 25 cents?
Definitely. And there is a pretty simple explanation of that. If you just go back to 4 hour, if you see chart of Doge which goes like this and never ever touching this line, and you see Doge finally touched this, and this was kind of like a very strong signal, and I just coincided with the BTC, and I just made a video about BTC, like a buy signal at 34,000, and it really bounced from this price, and make another 14%, which is good. These slides are the big deal on the biggest time frame. You don't have to just jump back and forth all the time, flipping your position from up to down, because you can say, like, on a 1 minute, you're trading Bitcoin, right? I'm bullish, right? And imagine if, like, okay, we just broke this down, we are kind of bearish, but at the same time I see like kind of shoulder pattern forming, and imagine if it goes like, this, we're testing this green line, it goes down. There are so many fake out momentums. You could end up having more losing trades than winning. That's why I just stick to at least 2 hour chart, just to say where the markets would go. And you don't want to, if you want to trade some 5-10% momentums, at least have 15 minutes chart just to see where the price would go. And yeah, the end of the story. But I'm still thinking that Doge is short. This is a pretty, clear pattern which we have. Usually might have. It's all about, probabilities. But first of all, what you need to do, you need to zone your range with a support and resistance levels, or areas like I did with this. And that's where you can basically start doing any analysis and, predict where this price would go, up or down. And you should take into account every possible, scenario. For example, I just decided just to enter short, and let's just say, okay, if short doesn't play out, I'd like just to quit my short position at 45 cents. And I'm ready just to take this loss of, let's just say, 50%. It's okay. Because trading is about having both positive and negative deals. So the best thing you could do is to maximize your profit deals with the best possible gains, which you could have from each trade, or and minimize your losses from the negative deals. It's fine. You would never be 100% right about everything. This is about technical analysis. And for example, if MACD will keep going up and never, turn to a red one, and this signal line will finally cross it to the top, I would start considering, long position with Doge. Even if it doesn't cross by that moment, no problem. I would be like, going long. Imagine that, MACD starts, turning green, and we are somewhere here. Let's just say, like, at this price action, this price level, it's 42 cents. Okay, I can consider a long position and get 12% loss if it doesn't play out. But you always need just to have some sort of decision-making strategy, because you can imagine, like, I know that Americans like to play basketball, and imagine you have a team of buddies to whom you're just hanging out all the time, and you decided just to play basketball against a professional team. So what are the chances to win against them? Well, close to zero, because you could be a good dribbler, you can handle the ball perfectly, you can shoot it nicely, you can attack the rim perfectly, have a nice rebounds, doing great work in the in the paint, be cool. but you don't have any chance against professional team because they know strategies, they know how to play, what combinations to play, how to attack the rim, how to make a rebound, and blah, blah, blah other stuff. So the pretty same scenario, you're playing against other people, right? And you'd like to be ahead of them. So that's where technical analysis plays a big role. I would, make some sort of that conclusion.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. I'm just checking the charts. Can you check your bot, see if it sold again? I think it was at a good sell point right there.
Yeah, it should.
I think it already hit a sell point for your bot. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, there was... No, it didn't.
Oh, so your bot still think it's going to go up more?
No, I mean, it was here. The last point was 40 cents. Should be like 40 cents, but it never crossed 40 something. I have a very huge... Yeah. Not almost, but let's just say how many percents are there. 1.85.
Eric here.
Yeah, hello, Eric.
Hey, Ivan, thanks for your time and explaining this incredible platform that you have. I've been using it for the last week, and it's really super cool. I love the part how you can integrate your trading, and just trade manually out of it as well as using the bot. So it's super helpful and cool.
Yeah, you're talking about trading terminal, which we have.
Exactly.
Bitsgap.
It's just another tab that's up there at the top. You can click to trading and then buy and sell straight out of there. Yeah. So I got a question. With the bots, can we trigger them based on trading view indicators? Is that possible?
At this moment, no, not yet. But we're working on this, and it will be available. Well, it will be working with webhooks and signals, but this will be available in the future, maybe in 3-4 months. Just I'll give you a rough idea.
I personally cannot wait for that. I have some indicators that I use for my manual trading, and when that is offered, I think that my returns with your bots is going to go ridiculously high. So
yeah, great. Great to hear that. Thank you
for working on that, and I cannot wait. And how do we know? Is there like an email? Do you guys keep us current? Is there an email list that y'all keep us current on what you're working on?
There will be definitely an update. We're just sending emails and other stuff. I will be online here. I hope every week, showing different stuff, different scenarios and strategies to use that. So I will be keeping I will keep you in the loop.
So we can stay in the loop just by finding you here when you're presenting.
Yeah, or you can email from time to time to Bitsgap, but yeah, I work for them. I know some sort of, updates or just, any sort of products which they're going to release soon.
Okay. And then if I may, I've got another question regarding using the bots. I see on a pair that I'm trading, which is AMP to USD, I see my fees are showing up and I'm trading back to Gemini is my exchange. Okay. I see my fees showing up.
You mean? REMP, right?
No, it's AMP, Alpha Mary David to the US dollar.
Alpha AMD.
AMP as in Paul. I'm sorry, I said D. You're right. AMP as in Paul.
Yeah. I don't. Okay, so I need just to switch to Gemini.
Yeah, exactly. Gemini. Do you have that connected to your account there?
Okay, well, whatever.
AMP as in Paul. AMP.
Yeah, it's okay. So just
you must
tell
be
me the
Binance
issue
or something.
Yeah.
Well, no. So it's not really an issue so much as just I'm a curiosity. When I look at the trades that the bot has made, I see that the fees are $0, and I also see that the trades were made at like around 0.5 cents, which 0.50. So that'd be 50 cents, I guess. Where the coin is, I'm sorry, it's 0.05. Where the coin is actually, anywhere in the neighborhood of like. It's going between 0.040 and 0.065. So it's going every 1/100th of a penny in that range. I'm pretty sure that it's not trading right on those round numbers. Is there some sort of rounding that's happening when it's reporting the trade price, or should it show me the exact decimalization?
Yeah. So do you use it on a real account, right? So you're using this in the real
account. I'm connected back with the API to my exchange of Gemini. Yeah.
What are fees for Gemini? I never used that before. I'm not aware of any fees they offer for their clients.
They're very, very low fees. But right here, it's reporting 0 fees. So I guess maybe that's what I need to do is just go back to Gemini and look what it's showing me.
Yeah, sure. Can I ask you you can find me in the team's, channel. I'm just a lamer Discord. Just, recently not edited, but just started my Discord. Just, drop me a PM. I just do my best just to find out what's going on.
Okay, thank you. And then I have a final question if I'm not like hogging this.
It's okay. It's okay. Just shoot it.
Okay, so the next question is, this particular pair kind of fell out of my range, and so the return stopped being desirable, right? So I was using the SBot. When you're using the SBot and it falls out of your range that you have configured, do you need to stop the bot and restart it in order to get it back in range, or what do you recommend there?
Yeah, when your currency falls, down below the grid. Well, basically, there is no way you can readjust the whole grid and basically pull all the levels down to the current price level. So if you'd like just to restart the bot, so what would you like to do with that currency? Would you like to sell it or basically start the bot with it again?
So that's my question. Can you do it on the fly, or do you have to close the bot and then restart it at the new levels?
Yeah, basically you need just to close the bot, but instead of selling, you can cancel all open orders, like here. That's an option.
That's what I did. Yep, that's what I did. Instead of selling it at market price, because that would have realized a loss, actually.
Yes, and because you're still holding these coins on the exchange balance, you're about, let's pick a random coin, because I don't have it on the Binance. I'm just going to show you how it works. Again, so Ethereum USDT, imagine that this is your coin, right? And because you'd like just to use your coin and start selling it just right away, you'd like to have no lower price. And by doing that, bots recognize that you don't want to buy extra coin, but you would like to sell your position into this grid. So you should, long story short, it's called red bot. You'd like just to start red bot. And to start red bot, you need your lower price to be higher than the current one. And every time it hits, or it will be having another pullback or some sort of correction to the top, it starts selling your token and get back into the grid. So imagine that Ethereum will go down, no problem, just canceling again and basically, putting that lower and lower and lower and lower until you find a pullback, momentum, and it starts getting to the grid again. Because you can end up having grid like that, and Ethereum will go, for example, went like this, and it's endlessly trading here, and nothing happened. So that's why canceling bots, restarting this with a lower grid is a good idea.
Okay, so basically you want to, in the cancel process, it tells you what your average price is of what your open positions are. So you want to note that price and then set the red bot above that price so that you're assured to only sell above your average price.
You can do that as well, but you just need this bot to make profit, right? You don't want to wait until it gets back to your range. And if you want it just to be immediately executed, or just some trades would be started right away, you can get this red bot as close as possible to your current one. Just click it start, and it starts selling when it enters the grid from the down to the up.
That's really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your questions. And I just can add something like from my side. Yeah, technical analysis is a very strong point just to make any decision. It's not a mistake just to make analysis in 5-10 minutes, but you need to be ready that most of this movements would be literally fakes, and you would have to move this grid. So, Tim, maybe you have some question. Maybe, anybody else has some question. I don't know. I just have like 5 minutes and I really, need to go. So sorry for that.
No, just one last question. So sure. He brought up that he's using Gemini. So could you clarify to the viewers that you can use one bot on Gemini to do Doge USD, and then a second bot on Binance, and a third bot on KuCoin?
Yeah. So the feature which we kind of made for Bitsgap account, that you can start one bot. Well, for example, you're running Doge, right? You can start one bot with one exchange. You couldn't start 10 Doge bots on Binance, with one Bitsgap. But you can like diversify this, if I can say so, and run not different bots with the same pairs, but let's have one Doge USDT bot on KuCoin, one Doge USDT bot on Binance, another bot on Gemini, other bot on Coinbase Pro. But I wouldn't recommend doing Coinbase Pro. Let's just say, I don't know, any other. And you can do this and split it into a different thing. But I wouldn't say that any exchange will let you trade, same pairs, same bots. I would say if you try just to run, let's just say, let me try just to run Doge, another Doge Tether pair on the S bot in the Binance, and it tells me you can start several bots on the same trading pair. So, but if I just switch to KuCoin, it will allow me to do so. If I just put a KuCoin, and there's no balance because it shows I'm just only having BTC on a demo, and yeah, you can really start that on KuCoin. It's not more about Bitsgap, but it's more about Binance itself, because you kind of place in orders with the one bot. Let's imagine we put some 42 orders for buying and selling with the Binance, and then we're trying just to open another bot and putting another 50 orders for buying and selling. It confuses the exchange, as you have to execute one orders with the same pair within the one bot, and you have to execute not the same orders, but lookalike orders which were placed in the same exchange. It starts confusing these bots between each other, and that's why you can't trade the same pair on the exchange. But you can, diversify it into other exchanges, because these exchanges, they're not interconnected between each other. So you can do it any time. Let's look for. Yes. Hello.
Final question regarding the trial versus like the paid programs. Could you just real quickly in the 1 minute that you have left, just tell us like how that works in terms of how long the trial?
Thank you, Ivan.
Yeah. So trial works like this. You just use Teams link, and it will give you 14 days of pro package, which is the highest and the greatest from the whole 3 packages we have. You don't need just to attach any credit card, debit card, whatever. It just gives you to try out. If you like it, you just continue using that. If you don't, it's not a big deal. You can just quit that and never get back to this, and it's okay. In comparison with some services, I don't know how it works in the US, but they might really, make you just to attach any credit, debit card, or whatever, any payment system, just to make sure that they can, take at least 1 month out of you. But we don't do that.
Thank you again, Ivan, and I appreciate your work. Guys, on Discord, Ivan does have a channel on the Discord, and he does post updates there. Thank you again, Ivan.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a great time. And yeah, if you have some questions, you can drop a message in the channel. You can drop a message in PM and Discord. Whenever I have time, I will definitely answer any of your questions. So have a nice evening, day, or whenever you are.